Oh, all right, all right. We back to streaming. It's been a second. There's a lot of talk about the Bun B situation. Is he a snitch? We're going to talk about it. Charleston White, right back to his old ways. Or should I really call them old at this point? Rum Nitty versus Loaded Lux. We're going to talk about it. Hitman Holla and Murda Mook get into spaces and have a virtual face off. There's threats, there's disses, they exposing each other. We got to do some catching up. Let's get to it.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of and shout out to the members. Breeds. Rare breeds around. Yes, sir. Proud to be one. What's good, y'all? How's everybody feeling? Feels good to be back on stream with y'all, hanging out with the chat. Shout out to all the channel members. We missed a lot of topics. I wasn't slacking. At all. I know ever since we kicked off or re-kicked off the Sorry is True podcast, we've been very consistent. You see, I got back to edited blogs. You see, I do the lives with y'all, short lives, long lives, short edited blogs, longer edited blogs, member only content. For like the last 5-6 days, we've been dropping some of the battles from the last RBE event that Winged and Lawrence did. Had them all scheduled on the channel, back to back to back to back to back. Shit, even one dropped today at like 5 o'clock. They was just scheduled up there, just dropping. But yeah, I don't want y'all to think that I was slacking off. That's not going to happen when it comes to the Sorry is True podcast. If I'm not, here every couple days or so, then that means that something's going on. It doesn't mean that something's going on has to be a bad thing. I actually was away. Took a quick trip, ran out the country, had a great time. We all need that every once in a while. I see the chat pouring in. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my mods coming in. Shout out to all the members. But yeah, man, get away every once in a while. It doesn't have to be out the country. It could be a cruise. It could be, a city that you haven't been to in a while. You could catch a flight. You could take a drive somewhere. You could just get away every once in a while. It's good to hit the reset button. It's good to treat yourself, especially if you work hard. Get away, try to get around some loved ones that you don't get a chance to see that frequently. And it was about that time for me. I do travel fairly frequently, whether it's spots that I go to just for quick fun, like let's say a Vegas, whether it's an out the country trip for myself, whether I'm going with family, whether the fellas is hanging out. It's all good times. It's all healthy. And if you caught that live a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, I definitely was like double over the trip because I had a trip scheduled to Barbados and American Airlines fucked that up. I'm still complaining about that because I ain't get all my money back yet. I'll never spend my money with them again. I normally always book with either Delta. Delta's number one for me. JetBlue's number two. And every once in a while, United. Those are like the three that I stick to, but I try to always book on Delta. American Airlines, that has some timing and some flights that worked out perfectly for my scheduling. I booked with them and I paid for it. But I just made up for it, missing out on that Barbados trip a couple weeks ago because this past week I was in Costa Rica. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm already dropping some videos and some pictures there. I could tell y'all about my experience with Costa Rica. We're going to hang out for a few. I'm going to be here for an hour minimum. We got a bunch of topics. Obviously, y'all see the title. So I'm going to be here for an hour minimum. So, no need to rush. But yeah, Costa Rica. I've been there 2 times before, so it's not my first time in Costa Rica. But even if I go places that I haven't been before, I make sure that I do something that I haven't done before, or try to stay somewhere that I haven't stayed before. Try a new resort, try a new place, do some new activities or whatever while you're there. Try to make it a different experience, even if you've been somewhere before. So this is my 3rd time going to Costa Rica. And the different thing that we tried actually almost fucked up the trip. If I wasn't making my moves or whatever, I would have had back-to-back messed up trips, okay? Within the span of like 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So This time around, what happened is fuck, I'm gonna put him on blast because he's my brother. And I know he tunes into the podcast damn near every video that goes up. And we call each other out because we all are brothers and we're all family. But one of my closest people, one of my closest brothers, my man Reem, man, it was his turn to pick the location. You know what I'm saying? And when we do that, you know, we pick the location and we send it out to everybody, friends and families and close circle folks or whatever. This is the location. If you in, you in. If you out, you out. Bring your wives, bring your husbands, bring the kids, do whatever you do. But this is where we're going. And sometimes we end up going somewhere, you know, 2 families deep, 10 deep, 15 deep, 20, whatever the case may be. This time around, I think there was about, in total, I don't know, like 12 of us maybe. But it was Reem's choice. He decided Costa Rica, and this was the first trip that we ever did with an Airbnb. So online, the Airbnb looked kind of dope. I ain't gonna lie. It's like this mansion setup. I think it had like damn, how many rooms did this shit have? Is it in double digits, like 10 plus rooms or whatever the case may be? But it's like within like its own compound. It looks like its own mini resort. It had its own stage, as if there was performances or whatever. None of us is performing for each other, but it had its own stage out in the courtyard. Had a pool, had a little jacuzzi area. You get assigned your own maids and cooks during your stay, all that type of stuff. So the setup going in was kind of dope. If I cut a little bit of the intro out, yo, when we got there, my man Tate got there before me. So I walked in. My man Tate walks up on me. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be what we make it. I was like, that don't sound too good. So I'm looking around as I'm walking in and everything, and I'm just like, it feels a little suspect. I haven't been in the room yet, but it feels a little suspect. So I just got here. You still got that I'm traveling again excitement about you that hasn't really came down yet. Let me look around. Let me check things out. Let me see what's going on. So I'm walking around. I'm checking things out. The grounds ain't really manicured. Things seem kind of dirty. It just didn't feel right. Get inside the room. Rooms was trash. Some of the people that had rooms that was a part of our party didn't even have TVs. Now, I don't want to sound like a diva, but we got to put this into real perspective. When you travel, when you spend your hard-earned money, when you plan months in advance, get out the country, you're talking about, that was a 4-hour flight for me. 90 minutes from the cab from the airport to the fucking resort, the mini resort or the Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? Spending my hard-earned money, planning to be away from work and home and all that, just to make all of this happen. And then when you get there, for it not to be of a certain standard, that don't make you a diva. Not at all. We all work hard. When it's time to enjoy the fruits of our labor, there's nothing wrong with having standards. If you have a standard for, I only date this type of man or this type of woman, and I chop that in half and put them in front of you and say, get married, you're going to tell me no. It's okay to have fucking standards. And this place was well below standard. It was a fucking dump. Okay. The room, my man Reem, there was no drawers or nothing to put everybody's living out their suitcases. It is what it is. He fucking was using the kitchen drawers to put his clothes in. You know what I'm saying? There was no towels. You couldn't get an iron. You couldn't get no food after a certain time because the handlers on site left. They didn't have no food. Niggas walk around starving and hungry. It's just a piece of shit. There's no TV in my room. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was getting out to watch the game anyway, but there's no TV in my room. It was just a fucking dump. You know what I'm saying? So I did 2 nights there, and that was out of humility and out of the group and everything. One of the rooms, there was people in there complaining about there was ants all over the place and everything. It's just like, it felt like a dirty place. And after 2 nights, I cut the fuck out. Like anything you see on my Instagram, I left. I said, closest 4 or 5-star resort, the W, I'm out. 9:00 in the morning. So I salvaged and saved the trip. A bunch of us headed over to a different resort. Some people was pulling up, you know, by day 3 on day passes just to hang out at a nice place. You know what I'm saying? That's what you see on my gram right now, a beautiful resort. And so the W in Costa Rica, totally co-sign, beautiful place. Got there, beach beautiful, rooms clean. You take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Towels, like what the food available. You know what I'm saying? It's some fucking bullshit. Hey Reem, you know what I'm saying? You're my man, but here's another place where my man Reem fucked up. I'm only saying this on camera because it's my brother, and we're already laughing and enjoying this. This is like good memories to still have. Like, yo, remember that trip we did where the nigga Reem booked the Airbnb? So that's why I'm having fun with it on camera. But one place where he went wrong is he's a traveler. This man's been around the globe. He's been around the world. He's been traveling since we was teenagers. This man knows how to get up and get out. Real shit. This time, for whatever reason, you know, he does his little homework. Yo, this place got like 10 out of 10 reviews. My man Tate, after we done been in the place and seen how shitty it was, whatever, he went back to the reviews. Yeah, it's 10 out of 10 reviews. There was only three reviews. You know what I'm saying? So what, the Airbnb guys, like the owner, the co-owner, and the partner or whatever went and put some reviews up, and that's what we went on. Yeah, my man Reem dropped the ball, B. He dropped the ball, but we salvaged it. I know at this point he's trying to get some of the bread back for everybody that went. You know, he's got a list of complaints. They fucked this over. I just can't give a good review. If I had the name of the Airbnb, I'd put it out there, man, because there's no reason to get got. Like, it's your own private, like, little mini resort. But even the gates around the place, shit had the fucking jailhouse circular barbed wire and shit. It's like, where the fuck are we? Like, really? Like, I'm coming out my room and looking like I'm in a jail yard? Like, that's not how I travel. That's not our standards. That's not how we spend our hard-earned money. So, Reem, you know, next year when we do the June trip, I pick the location. It's back on me. I will not fail y'all. You know, we'll see what's going on. I'm in talks with some stuff for July, so we'll see where I end up in July, whether it's something out the country or something quick. Yeah, I'm a traveler, man. Shout out to all my travelers, and I'm always going to give y'all these type of updates because we fam on this channel, and I don't want y'all to go through what the fuck I went through with that shit. Almost fucked up back-to-back trips, Reem. My brother, though, and I love you. And his birthday is tomorrow. What else is going on, man? Y'all see the new setup? You know what I'm saying? Same spot, got some additions, got some homies with me. Bear Bricks. I bought some sneakers at a local spot, a boutique spot that got, like, you know, all the throwbacks and, you know, resale type of whatever sneakers or whatever. And they had some Bear Bricks up there. And I always paid attention to them every time I shopped there, but I never thought about buying them. So I asked the guy, I wasn't even really up on this movement. Like, I asked him, I was like, yo, you sell those? And he was like, yeah. And that was this one right behind me, this blue one, which is a layout of the New York City subway system. So it's kind of dope. I know you can't see it all with me here. There you go. And across his stomach, he's got some graffiti. But yeah, all of this, if you was close up, you could see it's like all of it is the New York, you know, subway system. So that's the one I copped out of the store. And I was like, you can't do one if I'm going to put them on the podcast setup. Got to balance it out and even it out and everything. So I got online. These fucking things is expensive, man. You see, I got the Squid Games joint. I got the Matrix joint, one of my favorite series. I got the Billionaires Boy Club joint. I got some little homies right here. These things be like $1,000 and all that type of shit. And some 700-800. I seen some online. What's the one I seen online? A Bear Brick. It was like $5,000. I see Supreme make some. I seen the Marilyn Monroe one. There's just all types of these things, man. You go on Amazon or eBay, they got some wild Bear Bricks, some dope ones. So I don't know. Over time, I may swap some of these in and out, see how I like them. I got some other stuff on the way too that I might decorate up here by the TV, maybe some more here on the desk and everything. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just trying to have fun with it. I'm trying to have fun, you know, hanging out or whatever. What else? Costa Rica, fucking Reem. I can't believe you be. What y'all been watching lately? I just finished that Trap Law new documentary on 600, you know, 600 gang from Chicago. yo, it's just so crazy and so sad that first of all, that documentary that Trap Lord Ross just put out about 600, it's like 7 hours. You know it's bad when you actually been following the Chirac and BD and GD war for years, like me, and you're following this stuff and you know a lot of the names already, whatever, and you're still lost in all of the ties and all the murders and everything. It's just like there's so many people in that documentary that are just kids. So many people in that documentary that died. They didn't even grow a mustache yet. Be 12, 13, 14, 15. It's such it's Jesus. You talk about a sad situation of what these kids are coming up in and what they're adopting this war, or this is what we got, and then you mix in the clout and them wanting to be online, and some of them make money off of it, the drill scene and all that. It's such a sad situation. And when you watch that documentary, you see like, yo, that gang started like 30, 40 of these niggas, and like there's only like 2 survivors that we know right now, like Mimo 600 and 600 Breezy. It's like 2 survivors that we know of. Neither one of them even still live in Chicago. But it's like they're all just tracing the killings. And I still will be wowed and shocked at how much I could see those kids beef, talk about murders, implications, dry snitching on themselves, straight out snitching on themselves. No different than the King Von documentary. Doing all the clout chase, all that type of stuff. And it wows me and shocks me to see how much of that was not prevented by police. Like, if XYZ gets gunned down on the corner tonight, rest in peace. And then 10 minutes later, these kids are over here saying, yeah, we stood over you on, tonight. The ops, we now up, or what? Like, how did you not get pulled into the precinct and at least question? These kids was every once in a while, cops may grab somebody or whatever, but it's just like, how do you even get away with these tweets? Like, if the situation and the scene and the location was different, you know what I'm saying? Those tweets were going to get ran down on right away. And it just implicates that the local police of this area just don't care about the survival of some of these people. When you got low income areas and zip codes, the survival, the protection of the reputation of these areas where more tax dollars are paid, higher tax bracket, and the cost of living is higher, and the school system ratings are higher, and all that. Those are the places that get protected. And those are the places where we should all aspire to want to be or get close to. But these areas where like very low income, and the survival rate is just so low. Like these kids are damn near OGs if they make it to 25. To see them continue to move like that and tweet like that, and they're not, there's no interference, it seems like, from like all of this. There's so much of it that you see that could have and should have been prevented. You got to put the onus, of course, on the doers. Kids or not, you still are to blame for your actions. Children not, the parents as well, the community as well. But Jesus Christ, like, doesn't the police department carry some type of responsibility to maintaining the peace? Like, I could just tweet about the murder that just happened as if I was involved, and you don't got me in the precinct yesterday. It's sad, B. It's just so, like, how did even King Von get away with so much that he did online? How did he even get to that point? Now, of course, he got brought in a million times and arrested a bunch of times too, but he should have got investigated for much, much more. Not, and I'm not saying the stuff that allegedly he did. I don't even know if I need to say allegedly because he passed, rest in peace. But he implicated himself in so much and just sat there, rapped about it, tweeted about it, Instagram lived about it. It's wild, man. It's well, I watched that. I still owe myself a trip to the movie theater to catch Bad Boys 4. I gotta catch that. Bad Boys 1, classic, timeless, one of our, you know what I'm saying? Bad Boys 2 to me is a classic. I love Bad Boys 2. I try not to even compare part 1 and part 2. Bad Boys 3 to me, and I faced like some backlash online about it when I said this. Like people like DNA, shout out to DNA. He's like, yo, you crazy, whatever. I don't know why people like Bad Boys 3. I felt like it was cheesy and it was trash from the storyline and the way that the tone of it carried. I felt Bad Boys 3 was trash. And I have low expectations for part 4, but it's a must watch because it's the Bad Boys franchise. It's Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? So I did see online that the numbers is crazy, already past 100 million, which is dope. Is dope for one of my goats, Martin Lawrence. One of my goats. I have like, personal stake and ties to the Martin series, of course, where it raised us. And I just want to see Martin win as much as possible, but I don't have high expectations for him. Like I know he's got a comedy show or a stand-up that he's going on tour with, right? I have low expectations for it. Last time I saw him at the Barclays. He was well past his heyday, of course, and that wasn't really a good stand-up show. This isn't the You So Crazy days or the Run Tell That days, of course. People are online questioning his health every time he does an interview. So I have low expectations for the movie, and I had low expectations for his stand-up. You know what I'm saying? But it's a must watch, and it's good to see that it's successful. I hope it's good. Will Smith, I still hold up there as high expectations to anything that he gets on camera to do. And I guess this is still a little bit of a redemption for him, for the whole Chris Rock slapping and all that. It was a fucked up thing that he did to another one of our goats, there in front of the world. But at the same time, we want to give our Will Smiths of the world a pass. We want to, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I think many people in time will get past it, if most of people probably are already. So obviously he can still be successful. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope to see. It's dope to see. It's dope to see. I guess the last thing that I'll talk about that I've been watching before I get into the title stuff. Am I the only person that I feel almost guilty about this shit? Am I the only person that started following all the soap opera shit of No Jumper? Now, of course, the No Jumper podcast is one of the biggest podcasts and web, platforms for interviews and content these days. You got No Jumper, you got Academics, you got the Joe Button podcast, you got the $1 Million Worth of Game with Gillian Wallow, so forth and so on. Right. And No Jumper is a huge platform. Vlad TV is another one. No Jumper is a huge platform. And man, it's like I'm being more and more drawn into the soap opera with a bunch of people that I would have never known, of course, if it wasn't for No Jumper. I don't care about if they drop music or start acting, doing spin-off shows on their own or nothing like that. But some of these characters, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of y'all don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. But shout out to my West Coast niggas and people that follow the No Jumper podcast. The whole shit with like DW Flame and Whack 100 and Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. Like, it's a soap opera. It's a fucking soap. And I'm drawn in and I'm watching it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of entertaining stuff that's coming out of this. I just hope that what I'm not watching or what I'm watching is not just the lead up to a bunch of people getting killed over senseless bullshit. Because we know how people get invoked to hold themselves down and argue and uphold their names and represent their gangs and all that type of stuff when the cameras is on, we all fall suspect to that. All of us. There's a pride thing that comes in. There's an ego thing that comes in. When that camera's running, boy, I can't look like no punk. But this is like real gang shit that I just don't know how Adam 22 is playing with this much fire. I don't understand it. It's like they all know where they're going to be at this scheduled shows. Whack 100 gets up there and says, I'm here every Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And Whack 100, if you ask me, has got all types of fucking beef. Brick Baby, Blood. Was it Blood or a Crip? I forget. You know what I'm saying? DW Flame, Crip, right? Loose Cannon. Loose Cannon is the one that got up there and started talking about that Big U, called him accidentally before Nipsey got killed and told him Nipsey got killed, insinuating that Big U was involved. Big U is another name. Like they're going up there and they just like Whack 100 will just run down all this exposing, Big U, and people talk about him. They talk about Nipsey Hussle. They talk about the alleged, I guess odd sex tape that Nipsey Hussle is on and all this. There's a lot of people and gangs that's tied into this stuff. And it's all happening right there at this fucking No Jumper studio under the umbrella of Adam 22. And I hate to say, it's just like, it just feels like it's only a matter of time before God knows who gets hurt badly, if not worse, up there at this fucking place. Because they're just scheduling shows around each other that got real beef and real issues. Real gang members, including their friends, and what it's just wow, B. It's just like it's a fucking soap opera, and I know a lot of us are following it, but it's just like, how do you manage this without people getting hurt, without people possibly getting killed? God forbid. This is real shit that they up there playing with. But I guess when it comes to content, people don't mind going above and beyond. People don't mind putting themselves in jeopardy. People play death games. People play gang street stuff. It's just crazy to see. It's scary to see. It's because entertainment turns into an unfortunate situation like that. We go from being entertained to in a split second saying, damn, that's messed up. Adam 22 is playing with fire. I just don't understand how they do it. But anyway. What do we got here? Paul, appreciate the super homie. Paul 3, Paul the 3rd, either one. There's a song playing over Craig's intro and Craig Lamar versus Rosenberg. Will you please check it out? Craig Lamar versus Rosenberg. So that's an RBE battle. I don't remember what song it is, but yeah, check that out. I gotta pull that battle up. I'm not sure what that is, homie. But all right. Shout out to the members in the building. I see a member right here at the bottom of the chat. Let me pull this up real quick. Sincerely, Tiff. I have been so into school, I have yet to start any series yet. I know there are a few good shows out there to watch, but for now, TED Talks got me. TED Talks. Y'all got to drop in the comments and hit me on Twitter and let me know how good it is. I haven't started a new series lately. Some that I'm waiting for is The Last of Us returning. That was dope. Yeah, I'm waiting for Stranger Things to end. I ain't gonna lie, that last season and everything with Vecna and everything. And Vecna is like Freddy Krueger on steroids, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Stranger Things, I want to come back. I don't know, man. There's been a bunch of good series that I've watched over the last couple years. What's the last shit that I watched? The last shit that I watched was probably The Fall of the House of Usher. I would definitely tell you to watch that. Go watch The Haunting on Hill House on Netflix. That's dope as shit. If you haven't seen Narcos 1 and 2, go watch that. If you haven't seen Ozarks, go watch that. Like, it's a bunch of good shit out there. But yeah, as of recent, I think The Fall of the House of Usher is the last joint that I watched. Other than that, I'm a little bit out the loop too. So it's about time for me to start a new series. So I appreciate that. Shout out to the members. Members and mods in the building. Salute. Appreciate that. Members and mods in the building. Let me get one more member up here real quick. Apple got some joints. Dark Matter is dope. Haven't heard of it. Part of me almost got into some petty bag the other day and went to go check out Euphoria. I'm gonna leave that Kendrick and Drake shit alone until it gets interesting again, because we all know more is gonna come of that. But Queen, what up? I will say this: it's either the second or the third series of Stranger Things that takes a big drop. The one where she meets like her sister, whatever. It's just a horrible season. And it made me stop watching Stranger Things. And then people kept telling me, you're missing out. And then like months later, I doubled back and I said, let me just force my way through this fucking shitty ass season. And I'm glad I did, because like the 2 seasons after that, including the last one that just ended, I was like, thank you. So I'm not hating on Stranger Things at all. Yeah, that's a good joint. That's a good joint. All right. Did Bun B snitch? Let's start getting into the title. Oh, I gotta move kind of fast, man. Shit, I can't be up on that now. I think about it. I'm really hanging out with y'all, huh? Okay. All right, let's see what's going on with this, and I'm gonna give y'all my feedback on a Bun B thing. I might have an interesting take on it, but let's see.
Houston rap legend Bun B and his wife, Queenie, giving emotional testimony in court today. The couple described a home invasion that happened back in 2019.
Yeah, this story made big headlines back then, and you may remember that's when the rapper ended up shooting the armed robber. Now, that man is set to be sentenced for his crime. Sherman Chow joins us from the courthouse with what's next in this case and some interesting stuff in the courtroom today, Sherman.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, actually, court resumes tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It has been a very emotional and tense day here in the 209th. Rapper Bun B, whose legal name is Bernard Freeman, and his wife Chevalier both testified about that 2019 attack at their Houston home. 25-year-old DeMonte Alief Jackson has pled guilty to aggravated robbery and burglary with intent to commit another offense. Well, Jackson's parents testified on his behalf, saying that he has an IQ of 81 and mental health issues. The Freemans say that Jackson forced his way into their home, put a gun to Mrs. Freeman's head to rob them and steal their car. Bun B, who was upstairs, grabbed a gun, came downstairs, opened fire on Jackson, who by then was behind the wheel of a car in the family garage.
I like to shoot back at me, and I proceeded to unload my weapon. Well, I wasn't sure if I unloaded my weapon, and then he fell out of the car, he threw his gun down. I started fighting with him. My wife came through the garage door. She started screaming.
Tell.
Dad, you ain't gotta ask. No.
After that outburst, there was a brief recess and court resumed. Jackson's father said his son was a standout high school football player who, quote, had everything, including 2 cars and a moped, but not disciplined because he wanted to be a friend, not a father. Jackson was wounded in that shootout and then fled to a hospital where he was then later arrested. 2 more defense witnesses are scheduled to testify tomorrow morning, after which the judge will issue a sentence. We are
Okay. Bun B. One of our legends, man. One of our legends. Do we need to run down the man's resume? Do we need to really explain why he is so respected within the hip hop community, within the community, period? It's very, very well respected man. Now, this home invasion, obviously, it's a very misfortunate, or unfortunate situation. You work hard for your stuff, your home, your family, your car, your assets or your toys, whatever you've amassed in your life. You work hard for it, and we're all blessed to have anything, within our possession. We're all blessed to be here, and we're not gonna act like it's not the way of the world to steal, to rob, to burglarize. It's the way of the world. That's why a lot of us protect ourselves. People are gun owners. People have security systems. People have locks on their doors. People have cages on their windows. People have alarms on their cars. All types of stuff to protect yourself, your family, your assets, your belongings. And eventually, I shouldn't say eventually, but there's always going to be somebody that wants to take what you have without earning it for themselves. Fucked up, disgusting ways of the world. I never respect burglars, but they exist in this world, and many of us, are smart enough to know that we have to protect ourselves from them. So this young man comes into this man's home, Bun B. Fast forward, he super traumatizes Bun B's wife, puts a gun to her head, like they said. There was an actual shootout that ensues. Bun B actually hits the young kid. Kid obviously escapes with his life. Lucky for him. You could obviously be killed in a scenario like that where people's just shooting their guns at each other and people in fear for their life. Both sides. You hear a gun go off, you're in fear for your life, whether you're the one that's there to be the aggressor or not. There's more footage online as well with Bun B, getting to like this emotional state where he's crying, and there's a lot around the trauma that his wife experienced, where she no longer wants to be at the house. It's been like 5 years since she's been back to the house. And there's a lot of scenarios that you can be in that just scare the shit out of you. That if you're in the middle of it, that 10 seconds, that 20 seconds, that 30 seconds, that 1 minute feels like a fucking year. And you see this type of shit on TV, and to actually go through it, somebody comes into your home with a mask, puts a gun to you or your wife. I could only imagine. I could only imagine. Now, when you take the stand and you testify against somebody that is allegedly committed a crime, and you implicate them in a crime, or you say names, or you point people out, or you identify people to the authority, you don't even have to be 5% street to know the rules of snitching. So the question is, did Bun B snitch? I'll wait. For me, the answer is no. Because I don't really feel like the rules apply to Bun B. Now, slow down for a second before y'all say that I'm being a hypocrite or I'm doing, selective politics and all that type of shit because Bun B is so respected. Nope. No. Here's the thing. Here's the piece that people just don't know based on the individual. Are you a gangster? Are you a gang member? Are you a street nigga? Do we feel that any of those scenarios apply to Bun B? First of all, I don't know of any street shit that Bun B has done. He probably has done street shit at some point in his life. Maybe he has. He damn sure raps well about it or rapped well about it. But I don't know about any of that in my I can tell you certain rappers that have done certain things. Like even 50 Cent. Like we know a lot of his story. If 50 Cent gets on that stand right there and does what Bun B has done, you know what I'm saying? Considering his reputation, and he still does street level talk. He still threatens people on a street level. That type of, you think I'll put on a suit and I cleaned it all the way up? Pay $5, blah, 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 get you hit. Or he still talks street shit, despite him being a fucking mogul, right? I don't know about that coming from Bun B. What happens sometimes is you're automatically going to be put in a street nigga category for life because you're a rapper and because you say certain things. Now, first of all, being a rapper doesn't make you a gangster. We know that there's a million studio gangsters. We know that there's a million people that just rap about the lives that they possibly people that they possibly were around, things that may have happened in the past, things that they've seen. They vicariously lived through other people. Do they not blame Rick Ross for that, saying that the name Rick Ross comes from somebody else that really, really did that shit? You was a CEO, you was this, you was that. You could look at the Lil Waynes of the world and say, you started gang banging when you was in the industry. Like how? Like it's right there in front of us. You see what I'm saying? Now, the recency of things, it's very easy to identify when somebody is no longer a gang member if what visually places them there for us from the outside looking in, people that aren't inside the gangs and don't know the politics, it's kind of easy to see some of that. For example, in their lingo, if you're talking and you're always putting something on your hood, you know what I'm saying? On the hood, on this, on that, right? You're still claiming your affiliation. You're still claiming your gang. Now, there's gang affiliated people that don't talk none of the lingo, right? Have they denounced their flag? Have they dropped their flag? Are they getting a music video sometimes and purposely putting on a red bandana like a Chris Brown or something like that? Like there's symbolisms out there. You see what I'm saying? But even if Bun B at one point in time was outside of the studio really involved in some street shit, like I just feel like it's been so long since I seen him do anything street, heard about anything street for him, or that I can see from the outside looking in of him being a street nigga. To me, this is an older businessman. I don't claim to know his affiliations, but I damn sure don't know about no Bun B gangbanging, especially within like the last 10 or 15 years. I don't know about none of this as it associates to Bun B. To me, he is a citizen that has a street reputation from the past, possibly from things that he did once upon a time, or from the simple fact that he was a street rapper. He's a street rapper. And when's the last time he put out an album? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the man's focused on his fucking Trill Burgers and his business. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs to get on camera and drop their flag in front of you to say, like, I'm no longer in the streets. Sometimes you just got to see it in their actions. You got to hear it in their lingo. You got to watch it based on the people that they're around to see, like, what type of lifestyle are you still living? I don't look at Bun B over like the last 10, 15 years and see anything gang affiliated or street nigga represented about him. I just don't. So me personally, I have to put him in the civilian category. I think he did what he was supposed to do. Hardworking man, somebody that ran in his crib, put a gun to his wife, possibly could have killed his wife, could have killed him, all types of shit. And he was lucky enough to be able to get into a position where he could defend himself and his family, and even luckier that everybody can escape with their life. Because don't get it twisted. I know there are some people out there that probably would rather be in the dirt than be in jail. But I gotta assume that there's more people that would rather be above ground than in jail. That's just my guess. This young man, he fucked up. He made a life-altering mistake. He could have took other lives. He's lucky he left with his life. The man even got hit. So he has to live out X amount of his life now, if not the remainder of it, behind bars. That is the price that we pay for some of these decisions. And it's bugged out to hear the report that he's there to steal a car and he had 2 cars and a moped himself. You know, so there are just certain circumstances where people fall into certain lives. It's fucked up, you know, but that man has to live with those decisions now in jail. And Bun B walking around being called a snitch because y'all done watched him rap street shit and most of y'all don't associate him with nothing else. I'm cool on that, man. It's not like Game. Like people could call Game a real gangster. Some people could call him an industry gangster, whatever you want to call him. Motherfucker's gangbanging. Regardless, he can die from the shit that he represents. Game, right? Whether he put in work or not, he could die for the shit that he represents. Just from an opposing gang or whatever the case, he can die for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's gangbanging. Bun B ain't a street nigga as far as I've seen. So I ain't doing that. I'm cool on that, man. I am cool on that. Shout out to Bun B, man. And I'm glad that the situation worked out for everybody as best as possible. Charleston White. What the fuck? What are we going to do with Charleston White? I keep covering Charleston White because he's always going to be an interesting internet person. I just don't agree with damn near anything he fucking does, man. All right, so what happened with Charleston White recently? Everybody knows he's disrespected King Von a million fucking times. He's disrespected a lot of people from Chicago. He disrespects a lot of street rappers. Sometimes he makes valid points. Other times he's just flat out crossing the fucking line. You know, I did a recent live where I said that if I'm Gilly, I don't accept his apology about how he disrespected his deceased son. Can we go our separate ways and not be, you know, looking to hurt each other and throw out our freedom behind each other and that stupid internet shit or whatever? I think that's the dope route to take. But that doesn't mean I need to accept your apology if you violated my son that passed away, right? And less than how many weeks later, after he goes on that big platform, issues Gilly an apology by saying, like, I was wrong. I realized I was wrong. I need my blessings because I just got older. I just across the birthday. Less than 2 weeks later, what does he do? Look at this shit. So King Von's sister, she comes online and she says that she saw Charleston White and she didn't pop on him because there was police around. Now, obviously, she's saying that because of the things that Charleston White has said in King Von's direction. So any of his loved ones seeing Charleston White probably will feel away, let alone somebody that's blood related to him. So she says that, Charleston White being who Charleston White is, look what he says online. Dear King Von mother, I actually met this great young king and shook the legendary hand that pulled the trigger to slump and hump King Von. My life has been blessed with the abundance every day since that day. I connected with the spirit of God's angel, aka the demon slayer. I love and honor this young nigga right here. He's a hero to the nigga nation. We smoking on that Von pack tonight. Thank God for Lil Tim. Everybody knows Lil Tim was the trigger man that took King Von's life that night when he was defending Quando Rondo, when the fight broke out. But really, I mean, at a street level, this is like Kendrick starting the song Dear Adonis. Like Dear King Von mother. First of all, this is his sister that did this. This just shows once again, this is why you can't accept his apology when you're Gilly. Less than 2 weeks later, Dear King Von mother. The boy that slumped. Was Little Tim right or wrong is up to the outside viewer. Was King Von right or wrong? Up to the outside viewer. You come in and disrespect the mother that has lost a child, a parent that's lost a child once again, regardless about how you feel about street rappers. And King Von, we all know, is no fucking angel. Is no fucking angel. A lot of us believe that he got things under his belt, right? Bodies, for those that are missing my interpretation. But posts like this it just shows where his character is at. He wants to disrespect and just laugh over people that died, whether you feel like the person died under certain circumstances or not. This is not the right game to play for somebody that could look in the mirror and have some principles and morals about themselves. King Von's sister gets on the internet and says, yeah, I want to pop on him when I seen him. If you just have to respond to that, just say a couple disrespectful things to King Von's sister, fuck you, blah, 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 and leave it there. You could never trust the Charleston Whites of the world. I just said it. I was right. I said, Gilly can't accept that man's apology. He knows what he's doing. He gave that apology partially because of even the platform that he was on. This is him. Who trusts this man? Darren Doyle says, I can only imagine how the mother feels because my daughter just lost her mother at 5. And you say anything about her mom, she's losing her shit. And she 5. Yeah, man, it's just certain things should be left alone, even if it's an enemy. Even if it's an enemy. It's just, you just don't. I was just saying it, I guess. He's just proving one of our recent streams, right, y'all? All right, man. I don't want to stay on that too long. Lux and Nitty, Holla Mook. Lux and Nitty, Holla Mook. Lux and Nitty, let's go to it. I'll keep it short. I'm glad that I had an opportunity to check this out. By the time I was getting tuned in to this battle, I was actually at the gate of my flight, and it gave me some good content to watch. So first, let me check my fucking text messages real quick because I gotta be careful because it could be things in my text like, yo, talk about this, talk about that, don't forget this. Some people be watching my lives and be like, yo, break this news for me or whatever. All right. So first and foremost, overall, it was a great battle. I only watched it once. It's probably got a lot of rewind and find is more to find, you know what I'm saying? Especially with somebody as wordy as Lux, right? It potentially could be a classic. There's no hate I'm not gonna ever get up here and stunt with y'all. Y'all know me. It's potentially a classic battle. I feel like the culture has been so down with things that have been happening and chokes and missed battles and bad business and bad events and bad call and all this type of stuff. There's just been so much bullshit this year. There hasn't been a lot of great to this year yet. And you know, Lux and Nitty having that type of battle is needed because it creates a moment. It creates a moment of time that can carry some battle rap energy and have people talking about battle rap and blogging and sharing and discussing, because those moments are getting more and more far and few. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give a big salute and shout out to these two guys, man. The matchup, wasn't something that people were asking for. I never, scoff at that. Some people call me the king of battles that they don't ask for and just go in left field and say, here you go. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope to take something off the table that people want to see. Like, hey, here's Hitman and Bill Collector. I know you guys, been talking about this for a while, or I'm gonna actually get Math and Serious Jones completed for you, or y'all still waiting for Arsenal and QB. Here you go. Like, yeah, I've taken shit off the table that has just been hanging out there that just wasn't getting done. But there's been so much that we just look at, landscape or matchmaking or rappers and timing and momentum and say, I think that right there is going to be a goodie. And I don't think a lot of people looked at Lux versus Nitty like that. And even behind the scenes, there's political reasons why the battle even came together. You know what I'm saying? But let's focus on what's important right now, which is great fucking battle, possible classic. Lux needed that. Like, if Lux would have lost, like, Lux don't realize how much he just carried a piece of the culture in 2024. It's a down year for battle rap. Nitty battles very, very frequently. So even though he is one of the best doing it right now, he doesn't carry that on his shoulders the way like a Hitman coming outside, a Cassidy, a Murda Mook, a Loaded Lux, even a Hollow to Don. These guys that they are put up on that god tier. Some people look at some of these guys as like end game bosses. They don't battle that frequently. When these guys get on camera, if Lux would have got up there and choked or had a bad performance, it would have added to the energy of like, yo, this year is just, you know what I'm saying? So Lux carried or picked up some bad energy for the culture more than he may know. Oh, I'm pretty sure he probably does know that. So you got to give him that. And Nitty being able to be a little bit more than just a puncher when facing a Loaded Lux definitely was good timing for him. If I try to break down who I have, so the first round to me, I gave clearly to Nitty. The second round, I gave clearly to Lux. The third round, I feel like it's just closer than people are giving it respect for. And once again, I only watched it once. And there's probably not going to be a replay for me. I just don't replay a lot of battles these days. I just don't watch anywhere near as much battle rap as I used to. Just my own personal life and timing and all that type of shit. But there are certain battles where you must watch. Loaded Lux battles, gotta watch it, right? Come on, you're not a battle rap fan if you don't watch a Loaded Lux battle. And shout out to Nitty too. I watch a lot of Nitty shit. But I mean, that third round, I can possibly edge Lux. I do edge Lux in the third, but I can make, if I wanted to, I could make a case for Nitty's third. So I just want to give the respect that this is a closer battle than I think I'm seeing a little bit out there. I think people are giving it very, very clear second and third to Lux. Not mad at them. I just feel like that third round for me off of one watch was a little bit closer than people might be giving it credit for. So I'm gonna edge Lux, but there's a debate to be had, so that's a great one for Nitty to have on his resume. Obviously, Lux battling a new era king and holding his own and doing his thing and arguably winning. It's a good moment that I think battle rap needed badly. It's a very, very good moment that battle rap needed. And shout out to those two guys, man. Definitely gave me something to watch at the right time. And I was going to try to catch that regardless. It's Loaded Lux. You know what I'm saying? So Loaded Lux battles anybody, I'm tuning in. And once again, shout out to Nitty because I'm going to try to catch a lot of Nitty shit too. That man's amazing. So Shout out to those two guys, man. Okay, Holla and Mook. Oh, we leaving Holla and Mook for last, and y'all probably think I'm here to give y'all some behind the scenes shit with Holla and Mook, huh? Who is here right now waiting for me to give y'all some behind the scenes shit with Holla and Mook? Who's here and probably only wanted to hang out for that? I did listen to the spaces this morning, and shout out to the people that hit me up. Yeah, I got a couple tweets for it. Shout out to like people like Knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I got DMs and people's like, yo, ARP, pull up. I was like, I'll catch you later. Because if there's something said in there that's gonna make me want to argue or say something or whatever, I'll chill out. And if I do feel the need if I'm put in or dragged in it in any way where I feel like, oh wait, no, I gotta address something, I'll be here to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't want to get caught off guard with any wild arguments. And Holla and Mook are well capable of having the arguments that they need to have, and they probably deserve that platform on their own anyway. So don't see me pop, and I don't do spaces really, but don't see me pop into that and be like, oh, here goes ARP. No, all y'all are fucking tweeting me and DMing me and texting me, ARP, get in here. I even heard the part where Mook was like, yo, somebody get ARP and Van here. No, not me. Leave me alone. No, I don't want to get in there. Have me fucking critiquing and calling out shit and correcting shit or whatever. Leave me alone. All right? But leave me the fuck alone. Don't let me get in my surgical bag because it won't be live. I get to editing and chopping a whole bunch of shit. Leave me the fuck alone. I will say a couple things though. I will say, for starters, it's a battle that just has to happen. There are certain battles that we lost because of business. There's battles that we lost because of politics. There's battles that we lost because of bullshit, competition, bad negotiations. It's a long spectrum of why we don't always get the things that we're supposed to get. Some of the obvious ones that come to mind for me are like, Mook versus Hollow in its prime. Cassidy and Rex in its prime. Cassidy and Mook. Hitman and Lux. Hitman and Mook. Hitman and Gaethje. Daylight and Loaded Lux. Loaded Lux and JC. Sue Surf and maybe Aver. Big K Cassidy. Like, I know not all of these people feel like they have to see if battle rap stopped tomorrow, but some of the ones I just said will never happen for different reasons. And I just hope that Murda Mook versus Hitman doesn't become a battle that we miss out on for reasons that they should have been able to get past. I feel like Murda Mook is definitely steering towards trying to steer the battle towards URL, which, is smart for him. I think Hitman is trying to steer the battle towards Bags and Bodies, which is smart for him, right? The negotiation stuff of that, all somebody got to do is call me a liar or call me out on something or whatever, and I'll be here with a different energy. But in the meantime, I feel like I'm in a spot to just keep it positive because I want to see the battle happen like anybody else. I played a lot behind the scenes trying to make it happen first on Chrome 23. I never tried to make the battle happen on RBE. Never. I actually declined it on RBE. The first involvement that I've ever had was to try to help the battle happen on Chrome 23. After that, the Bags and Body stuff came around. I'm even an advocate for it to happen on URL. There's no situation where y'all will ever say that ARP is involved in hating on a battle happening anywhere. I've always been like that, right? So I don't know. There's some stuff at play that you guys don't know about. There's some lies that have been said from multiple parties. There's some bullshit that has been said. There's some promo stuff that has been said. There's some steering that has happened from multiple parties. And because I know the things that I know, it's very clear to me. And once again, nobody please put me in that surgical bag Everybody keep it promo, keep it regular. Y'all do y'all thing. Shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But man, there's some stuff behind the scenes that y'all just don't know about. And believe me when I say there is bullshit that can prevent this battle from happening. Just flat out bullshit. What else is new? What else is new? And I did catch the end of the space, with things started getting a little physical, whatever. I'm not gonna say that them guys don't stand on what their words is. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna disrespect nobody. But I still do feel like part of that energy and that part right there was due to the machismo factor of we're arguing in front of these fans. There's however many people was in spaces. Everybody's gonna record this and post it on their pages and all this shit. You not gonna punk me here. And the moment you start getting into the whole like, I bet you act different, or I bet you won't do this, or I bet you will change this, or I bet you won't say this, or you a bitch, or you a pussy, or you didn't do nothing when this person or that happened, or blah, blah. Once you start doing that, of course they're going to get to a point sooner or later where the physical talk starts to happen. No league, no fans, no managers. Everybody calm down. Nobody should be scared of the battle happening. If those two guys sign a contract, regardless of where the battle happens, the business is going to be 100% through because they signed the contract, right? Nothing's going to get physical. They're not going to ruin their bag. Nothing's going to happen. If they really, really, really want to fight, then you save it for after the fucking battle. Okay? If Math and Sirius could stand in front of each other, if Hitman and Bill Collector, Hitman exhibited that. Now that you think about it, he stood in front of Bill Collector. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are way further along. And Math and Sirius as well, way further along than Mook and Hitman. There's a situations where physicality actually happened. Like, so everybody calm down. I even had somebody on a phone call ask me something about potential business going left. That would never happen. That would never happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely Mook, I would trust with business, of course. You know what I'm saying? As far as like him showing up and doing his job, doing what he needs to do. Hitman, I would put my name on that. I would put my money on that. Like, if he signs a contract, no business is going to be in jeopardy. Okay? Even if the battle happens on bags and bodies. And even, some of the narrative of, is there a safety concern? We hear that. That's something that's floating around. We got to stop. Now, of course, these two guys are both going to try to mob. That's part of battle rap. They're going to protect themselves. They're going to have security with them. They're going to have maybe gang members with them and friends and all of this. And cool. Let me show you how strong I am. Let me show you how many people I got and blah, blah, blah. They both going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But if they really, really bosses like they claim to be, if they really that, like they both say they are, and I believe, especially Holla, I know Holla personally. Holla is who he is for real. Holla can stop Holla could show up to a battle with 50 people and they won't budge if he says don't move. It happened in the face-off. Dude that got there and sat in front of Hitman and damn near started to troll him behind the cameras, niggas was ready to move. And Hitman, yo, Mo, leave him, don't touch him. And they won't. Even certain league owners they'll respect. You know what I'm saying? So niggas is not fucking caged animals. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will give it up when it's time. But niggas is not caged fucking animals. So let's not do the whole security threat or safety threat or business threat. Stop it. This other narrative of who needs to make a phone call. Imagine if we as a battle rap culture, industry, whatever, felt like it didn't happen because somebody didn't make a phone call. How childish would that be? And that goes for Mook, that goes for Hitman, that goes for URL. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be kind of whack, considering the other factors that are much larger than that can prevent the battle from happening. You know what I'm saying? And all this talk from URL about like Hitman has said this, Hitman has said that. And then in the same interview, to me, that gets contradicted by saying, whoa, Hitman gets on my phone. You know, we yuck it up about certain things, and then we get to, so then why wouldn't that be the case now? One of these sides got to call the other side's bluff and just make the phone call. And that's when negotiations come in. Like, that's part of a league owner's job. Like, any league owner makes the phone call. Like, nobody needs to try to play casino and wait the other person out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Hitman doesn't have to battle and he's good. URL doesn't have to work with Hitman and they're fine. So anybody that's just trying to wait each other out, to me, is a waste of time if that's a tactic. Because at the end of the day, a phone call doesn't mean that the battle has to be booked. Hey, man, you said this online. Let me ask you now in private. What's the range you're looking for? It's just a question. Yo, man, you said this. Boom, boom. That's part of a league owner's job. Like, it'd be ego shit to me, or a tactic, or possible narrative and bullshit in public if you don't just make the call. Like, as a league owner, if I want a battle to happen, it's my job. I'll make the fucking phone call. Doesn't mean that the battle's going to get booked. You know how many phone calls I've had and battle. You know how many times me and Murda Mook were negotiating for battles that didn't happen? You know what I'm saying? Contracts were done and written up for him and Hitman years ago. Contracts were written up and I'm pretty sure sent out for him versus Hollow years ago. We talked about him versus Math a couple times, even though that didn't really get close. We talked about him and Arsenal, Mook versus Arsenal. That was a very serious negotiation. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about more negotiations than the battle that he actually has on RBE when it comes to Mook. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got 3 showings, 3 bookings, 3 times that I've had him rap on RBE and paid him for it. Street Hymns, Big K, and Averb. But it could have been 5, 6, 7, 8. Consider the amount of times that we negotiated and discussed things, or times where I've asked him for things or he's asked RBE for things. So it's a league owner's job to make the fucking phone call. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not saying that Hitman can't pick up the phone neither, but follow my words. There's a little bit of cap in the air, and I swear to God, I'm only saying 1% of behind the scene. 1%. 1%. The other 99, I'm being cool to multiple parties, but I'm still being positive and I'm still being, friendly by saying, I'm just one of these fans that wants to see the battle happen. I mean, initially I tried to make the battle, or tried to help the battle happen in a scenario that doesn't do shit for me. Y'all know my position. Doesn't it look like I'm standing on it? There's more behind the scenes shit about even Mook versus Hitman on RBE, even recently. I'm not here talking about it. Like, there's privately and publicly, ARP is not trying to do certain things of what he's already announced and told y'all. And I still see the tweets, yo, ARP make it. I appreciate that. And I'm honored and I'm humbled by it. But my initial involvement outside of like Hitman being my nigga had a business and a platform that has nothing to do with me. Doesn't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I'd love to see the battle happen like the rest of y'all. Even today, I was in conversations saying things that I hope were taken positively, in a way to continue the energy, because, these guys have actually added more to the battle. Whether that's more negotiations, whether that's more money, whether that's a higher viewership, whatever the case may be, it would be stupid for all of this to be in vain, and it to be one of these battles that never happened because of egos, or because of politics, or because of who didn't pick up the phone, or because of lies, or because of I actually really don't like you when I'm out here claiming to just be a businessman, or like let the truth be what it's supposed to be. If the battle's not happening for serious reasons or personal reasons, let that be the truth then. And then let everybody just move the fuck on. Because I'll tell you one thing about Holla. Holla he is that guy that he likes, if you put him in a certain spot, he wants to then show you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, Holla's a guy that is be like, oh, y'all really think that I need to do this or whatever? You know what? I'm going to be quiet for 2 months and I'm going to pop up on my own platform and prove all y'all that have been trying to just watch my downfall or trying to see what I was going to be able to do without them or whatever. How is that type of nigga? He loves to try to show people up. He loves to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure Mook has his side of things where he's just like, yo, I'll wait it out too, whether that's business wise or whatever the case may be. So this chessboard that you think is out there is actually just fucking smoke and mirrors. The real shit has yet to be said. Okay. So I would challenge these people involved from all three sides. I would call all three sides bluff and say, how bad do y'all really want to make the battle happen behind the scenes? Don't get me back up here to talk about the other 99%. Let's all be cool, man. Please. I just be hating bullshit when it's said. Obviously, I spoke out over the years for a reason, to protect myself, to protect RBE. And this right here, it's not me not minding my business, I damn near play manager in certain spots, for certain matchups. I get phone calls from people that even want to be on this card. And they ask me shit like, yo, what do you think about this? What do you think about that business? Or should I do this or whatever? I still get these type of calls from legends. Like last week, week before, part of this card, outside of this card, because people still respect, my advice. People still respect my capabilities. People still respect my connections, and I earned that. I put that work in. I have that reputation. I built those relationships. So if I could be involved in something still that could make somebody a couple $100,000 behind the scenes or $500,000 or whatever, I actually enjoy playing that spot. You know what I'm saying? Because I said 1,000,000 times, I got mines, and it's dope to watch other people get theirs. But, I'll be back for some other updates. Hopefully nothing crazy. Let's just all be respectful when RBE's name is out there, please, so that I don't have to get up here and really, really drop some real shit. Yeah, I was away for a couple, so I just wanted to catch up on a couple quick topics, but we'll be back in a second. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy.